Rocks and Soil Near the Great Lakes by Susan Kay. Science vocabulary. Soil. Soil is a layer of loose material that covers part of Earth's surface. Bits of rock become part of soil. Humus. Humus is part of soil. It has bits of decayed plants and animals. Humus is in the top layer of soil. Property. A property is something about an object that you can observe with your senses. Having layers is one property of rocks. Texture. Texture is the way an object feels. Rocks can have a rough or smooth texture. Weathering. Weathering is the breaking apart of dissolving of rocks. My science vocabulary: humus, property, soil, texture, weathering. Beaches. This is a beach. A beach is land along the water. Waves of water rush up on a beach. Waves can be small and gentle. When it's windy or stormy, waves can be large and powerful. There are many beaches on the Great Lakes. The map below shows the 5 Great Lakes. Lake Michigan is a very large lake. It has many beaches. Each one is different. Some of Lake Michigan's beaches are sandy. Others are rocky. Some rocky beaches have pebbles and others have large rocks. Sandy beach, rocky beach. Sand. This beach is covered with sand. Sand can be made of different things. Some sand is made of tiny bits of shells. This sand is made of tiny bits of rock. This beach is sandy too. Wind blows the sand into dunes. Plants may grow in the sandy soil of a dune. This sandy beach is on Lake Michigan. A mound of sand was made by the wind. Rocks. Some beaches are rocky. Rocks have different properties. Having layers is a property. Some rocks have layers. Other rocks do not have layers. Color and texture are properties too. Some rocks have a rough texture. Some have a smooth texture. Texture is how an object feels when you touch it. Properties. Words that describe properties. Color: orange, brown, black. Layers: layered, not layered. Texture: rough, smooth. Black color: some layers, rough texture. This cliff is on Lake Michigan. Property. A property is something about an object that you can observe with your senses. Texture. Texture is the way an object feels. Most of the sand in the beaches around the Great Lakes is made of quartz. Quartz is a mineral. Minerals can be found in some rocks. Minerals have properties too. Strength or softness and hardness is one property. How would you describe these minerals? Copper, quartz, dolomite, feldspar. These minerals can be found near the Great Lakes. There is a special type of rock on this beach in Michigan. It is called Petoskey stone. Petoskey stones are made up of fossils of coral. Water from the lake flows over the rocks and makes them smooth. Look at this polished Petoskey stone. What properties do you see? Petoskey stones. Petoskey stone is the state stone of Michigan. There were once glaciers in Michigan. Glaciers moved rocks. As the glaciers melted, the shape of the rocks changed. Glaciers like this one once moved across Michigan. Glaciers are large sheets of moving ice. Water and wind change rocks too. Waves drag sand from the beaches. Waves also add sand to the beach. Wind carries away sand. It also brings new sand to the beach. Weathering changes rocks. Water and wind also cause weathering. Weathering can happen when rocks tumble in waves. It also happens when wind blows sand against rocks. Over time, the rocks wear down and become smooth. Waves weather rocks on this beach on Lake Superior. Trees grow on these rocks that have been weathered by wind and water. Weathering can happen when waves crash into rocks too. Bits of rock break off. They become part of the beach. Water can also dissolve parts of rocks. Rocks from these cliffs are now part of the beach. Weathering. Weathering is the breaking apart or dissolving of rocks. Soil. Bits of rock can become sand on a beach. Bits of rock can also become part of soil. Plants grow in soil near this beach on Lake Superior. Soil. Soil is a layer of loose material that covers part of Earth's surface. Some soil has humus in it. Humus is bits of dead plants and animals. There are layers of soil near Lake Michigan. The dark layer on top has a lot of humus in it. Plant roots hang from a dark layer of humus. Humus. Humus is a part of soil. It has bits of decayed plants and animals. You can observe the properties of soil. Color and texture are properties of soil. Soil near most beaches has a light color. Soil made of very small bits of rocks feels smooth. Soil made of larger bits of rocks feels rough. Conclusion. There are many beaches on the Great Lakes. Beaches can have rocks and sandy soil. Rocks and soil have properties such as texture and color. Weathering can change rocks to soil over time. Think about the big ideas. Number 1. What can you observe about rocks near the Great Lakes? Number 2. How do rocks change shape? Number 3. What can you observe about soil?